is good, everybody? My Paper Moon fam. It's your boy, PaperSin, back with another reaction video. This one is called The Poverty Programming Trap, and it's by the YouTube channel Myron Golden. Now, I'm trying to learn some ish, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure some things out, make sure I stay above and beyond where I need to be. You feel me? So join me on this trip, on this journey. And let's see what we can figure out. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what's good. See what's great. See what's going on. No hate. As always, but link to both the channel and the video will both be in the description below. So while you're there, be sure to do those 3 things I like to ask you to do: like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for more videos. Yeah. All right, let's go.
You're about to discover.
Oops, sorry, hold on. For my
the poverty.
Wait, it's not showing the closed captions.
Programming that's kept you stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck. Make sure you watch this entire video. You know what's really interesting? People will never.
I've got the closed captions activated. It's not showing them. There we go. That was weird.
You're about to discover the poverty programming that's kept you stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck. Make sure you watch this entire video.
Okay.
You know what's really interesting? People will never behave consistently in a way that's inconsistent with their programming. I said that too fast. People will never behave consistently in a way that's inconsistent with their programming. In fact, your programming runs on your subconscious mind. So let's people will never behave consistently in a way that's inconsistent with their programming. In fact, your programming runs on your subconscious mind. So let's pretend for a minute that your mind is a supercomputer.
Right.
Get it? Let's pretend. Okay, so let's pretend for a minute that your mind is a supercomputer.
Okay.
And you've got your subconscious mind and you've got your conscious mind.
Right.
In a computer, you have to have an operating system. What is an operating system? An operating system is the main software of a computer that tells that computer what other software programs it can and cannot run. Okay. The problem with our supercomputer of our mind is most of us, we did not choose our operating system. The cultural hypnotic societal mechanism chose that for us. And the cultural hypnotic societal mechanism, which includes the schools we went to, the churches we've gone to, our parents, our neighbors, our siblings, our friends, our coworkers, our bosses, our employees.
Right. Basically, all the beliefs you inherit through life by the society that you live in. All the beliefs, all of the what's right and what's wrong, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. Same thing. I'm just rambling now. But all of the beliefs of society, of the society that you grew up in, that's basically what he's talking about, the systematic programming.
The media, the government, all of it has programmed us with what I call a failure operating system. And if you put a failure program in a computer with a failure operating system, it can run that program. But guess what? If you put success software in a computer that's programmed with a failure operating system, all you're going to get is an error message.
Okay, so our brain's the computer, and the societal programming is a software. If you put the societal programming, everything you were taught while you're growing up from society, which is I guess he's saying it as a failed system, a failed software, into a successful brain, which is a successful computer, which is our brain. Then you get an error message. You get a failed life, a failed someone who's unable to succeed in society. Okay.
By the way, that's why so many people, when they hear some truth about wealth, they have to resist it because their subconscious programming won't allow them to run that program. And so success and failure both operate on are produced from the subconscious mind, or what I like to call the automatic mind.
Okay.
I like to call our subconscious our automatic mind, and our conscious mind our manual mind.
Right.
All of the results, like 90% of the results in your life are automatic mind. I like to get from the produce from the subconscious mind, or what I like to call the automatic mind.
Okay.
I like to call our subconscious our automatic mind, and our conscious mind our manual mind.
I thought you said that backwards. So yeah, the subconscious runs everything automatically, and the conscious mind is the one that has to do the processing manually. I got it.
All of the results, like 90% of the results in your life, are produced by your automatic mind.
Right.
Which means you're not even aware of it. It's running below the surface. It's happening automatically.
Right.
And you don't even see it. But here's what's interesting. Other people who are not programmed like you can see your programming. How many of y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And see, what happens is
because let me make sure I get this right. Because everybody's programming, or everybody's brain, or is the societal software that is given to a person, the societal beliefs that's given to a person, each of it varies from person to person, because everybody is slightly different in the fact that they have slightly different parents who believe in slightly different things than the rest of the society, and other slightly different influences that will affect that one person. So if you're doing something that is normal to you because of based off your upbringing and the societal influence around you, and someone else sees that, something might seem wrong or different to them because they have a different upbringing. I got it. Okay.
When we hear some truth that's unfamiliar to us, the first thing we do is we resist it because, well, that can't be true, because that doesn't go along with my paradigm.
Right. It's like someone who grows up as an atheist versus someone who grows up as a Christian. You know, the Christian will tell the atheist, about God, and the atheist will be like, well, God doesn't exist. I don't think that's true, because God doesn't exist because of what they were told when they were growing up. So it's kind of like that.
Because people will never behave consistently in a way that's inconsistent with their programming.
Right.
But here's what's interesting. I don't know if y'all can remember back in the 80s, late 80s, when you'd have like the 8086 computer and the 8088s, and you had the floppy drives, and they came out with a new software system for the computer, came out with a new operating system. You had to uninstall the old operating system, which usually took a couple of hours.
Okay.
And then you had to keep putting these floppy disks in and taking one out, putting one in, taking one out, putting one in, and it took a long time to reprogram the operating system of that computer. Does anybody remember those days? Okay, a couple of us are old enough to remember those days. Okay, and so what happened is they'd make new software, but the new software wouldn't run on the old operating system, right?
Okay.
And so you had to pick a day where, okay, I'm gonna have to uninstall this operating system, and then I'm gonna have to set an alarm to wake up in the middle of the night and keep on putting these disks in so I can use my computer tomorrow. Well, the same way.
Okay.
It took a long time back then to uninstall an operating system and reinstall a new one. It takes a long time for most people to uninstall their failure operating system and install a success operating system.
Okay, I get it.
That's why you have to stay plugged into information and content that is reprogramming you, because eventually, here's what's gonna happen. I promise you, you see somebody, how many of y'all notice that when you see somebody who's really, really good at something, they're really, really good, they make something so complex look effortless? Like, Michael Jordan was so much better than everybody else when he was in the NBA. Mm-hmm. When he played basketball, he made it look effortless. Right. Tiger Woods making birdies and eagles look like he was playing with a child's toy.
Some elite gamers making, like, let's say Tyler won with League of Legends, playing every role and getting to Challenger look easy to people who are in lower elo. Stuff like that.
Why? Because they had a totally different operating system going. But see, operating systems don't just affect us in sports, they affect us in every aspect of our lives. They affect us in our finances, they affect us in our businesses, and what happens is we resist because it's uncomfortable to uninstall that old programming. You know why it's uncomfortable? Because grandmama gave it to me. It's uncomfortable because mama gave it to me, because daddy gave it to me, because my uncle Sam gave it to me, and my Aunt Susie gave it to me. And so I don't want to take it out. My favorite teacher gave it to me, and my pastor gave it to me, and the deacon gave it to me. And we have all of this programming that's not serving us and not giving us the ability to serve anybody else. But guess what? Did you ever notice that people who are failing like miserably, they make that look effortless?
Damn. Okay. So yeah, he's basically saying it's hard to change the beliefs, your belief system that you're born with. It's hard to, well, uninstall or look past and accept a new belief system, or that could actually work for you when the old one's not working. That's what he's saying. I get it.
No, I'm not I'm not trying to be funny. They're not saying, I'm just going to wake up and mess up my life today. It's just all the moves they do that day just mess up the whole day. Why? It's their programming. And now watch this. This poverty programming, like, you have been programmed to be broke. The cultural, hypnotic, societal.
Hold on, before he gets into all this, so it's kind of like, I just want to say one more thing. It's kind of, for now. Excuse me. It's kind of like people who are not, I don't want to say lazy, but kind of like me, because I procrastinate, right? So for me to stop procrastinating, I have to actively decide to do things as soon as I realize I need to do them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of putting things off. So it's kind of like that. You have to doing things like that, or deciding to go to the gym every day when you're used to just being lazy. Things like that, because I need to do that too. I'm not gonna lie. Things like that take time to make into a habit, to turn into a habit, because you're used to not doing it. You know, and so there's some people say it takes like a week to start a new habit. That's it. That's it. Basically, that's the uninstalling of the old programming and the installing of the new programming. So if you want to succeed, you gotta start doing things. You gotta start, quote unquote, uninstalling things that you were doing before that weren't working for you, and you have to install or start doing the things, or turn into a habit, things that will make you into a success, or at least that will lead you to the life that you're looking to obtain, the life that you're looking to start living. That's what he's saying. Got it.
The cultural, hypnotic, societal mechanism has programmed you to be sick, broke, misinformed,
and stupid,
and fearful.
Your thing's not drawing. There it goes.
And guess what? As long as you are running this program, you're going to be sick, broke, misinformed, and fearful. Either one of those things or all of those things. Why does the cultural, hypnotic, societal mechanism want us sick, broke, misinformed, and fearful?
I guess
because
misinformed
people
is
who are
also
sick,
stupid.
broke, misinformed, and fearful are easier to control than people who are healthy, wealthy, well-informed, and courageous. And so what we have to do is we have to recognize the program. But see, we have to recognize where it comes from. Do you understand every time the politicians lie to you and tell you they're going to end income inequality? How do you know they're lying? Because they can't end income inequality, because income doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's the result of something. What's the result of? It's a result of value that's created for somebody other than you. So until you eliminate value creation inequality, you can't eliminate income inequality. They're lying. The government wants you to think that businesses that are successful because the owners of those businesses are evil. But the reality is, the promoter of that message is the one that's evil. Now, there are some businesses that are evil. I'm not saying there are no businesses that are evil. There are some businesses where the owners have evil intention. But that's not generally the nature of business. The media, the movies. So I'm not crazy about movies, but the movies that I hate the most, superhero movies.
Ah, man, I love superhero movies. Spider-Man, if you don't know this about me, Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel character, and Batman is my favorite DC character. I love superhero movies. I don't really mess with Hulk too much, and I don't really mess with like Ant-Man. But I love superhero movies.
They're so terrible. They have programmed so many people to be broke.
Why?
So what do you mean? Like, you never even thought about that before, right? See, they started programming you when you were a little kid. Anybody remember this guy named Superman, right? Superman. You remember who he was, right?
Yeah.
He was an adopted poor little orphan from another planet Who was his arch enemy? Lex Luthor.
Rich guy.
What was he? Multimillionaire.
Oh, shit.
Subconsciously. They don't have, see, do you understand?
Okay, well, what about Iron Man? Iron Man is a rich, successful, billionaire playboy philanthropist. Like, what about him? My second favorite Marvel character.
Understand that every time a story is being told, it's being told on two levels. There's the covert story. That's the part that talks to your head. It's only there to distract you. And the overt story, that's the part that talks to your heart. It's there to program you. Okay, what about Spider-Man? Oh, another poor little orphan.
Yeah, but he was smart. He was
raised
genius.
by his aunt and uncle.
That's true.
Who's his arch enemy?
Tony Hawk.
Oh, that's right, the Green Goblin.
Tony Stark.
He wasn't a multimillionaire. He was a multi-billionaire.
What about Tony Stark?
They're always associating wealth with evil. And I know what you're thinking. See, I already know what you're thinking because I'm a mind reader.
Tony
You're
Stark.
thinking, but Batman was rich?
Tony Stark.
How many of y'all were thinking that? See?
I didn't think about
knew you were
Batman. I forgot about that.
See,
Just know that's in my
you got to
mind.
get up early in the morning. You're going to catch me on that one. You're right. Batman was rich, but he's the only superhero with no superpowers.
Tony Stark.
Now, which one would you rather do? Have a cool car or just fly? Okay, I can't even go there yet. I can't go there yet, but I will.
Why?
I will. I'll touch on it since you brought it up. Okay, just be ready. Okay. So I know the other thing you're thinking. Yeah, but
Tony Stark.
Iron Man's rich.
Yes.
Don't you? I'm reading your mind. I already told you.
Okay.
But watch this. Iron Man is a narcissistic jerk who takes advantage of everybody and walks on everybody.
Ah, shit.
So if they make a superhero that's rich, they always give them an undesirable character trait. What about the Black Panther? See,
Yeah.
Here's what the enemy did with the Black Panther. Black people, we felt so disenfranchised that, unfortunately, far too many of us, just because something's black, we want to go with it. But see, here's the problem I had with the Black Panther. They were literally in the movie teaching ancestor worship. Ancestor worship? What am I gonna worship my dead ancestors for? God's the one that made him. I think I'm gonna worship him. Black Panther was cool. He was rich, he was cool, he was smart, he could fight, he did all that. But they had to throw that answer because the enemy is always trying to trip us up. And he'll use whatever method necessary, whatever method possible. See,
What's wrong with like giving props to your ancestors or giving like or at least like what's the word I'm looking for? Showing love to your ancestors. What's wrong with that? Unless I don't fully understand what ancestor worship is. Hold on. Nope, I gotta look this up. Hold on. What is ancestor worship? Wait, what? Let's see. What? Veneration of the dead. What I typed in, I Googled what is ancestor worship, and what came back says the veneration of the dead, including one's ancestors, is based on love and respect for the deceased. In some cultures, it is related to beliefs that the dead have a continued existence and may possess the ability to influence the fortune of the living. Some groups venerate their direct familial ancestors. That doesn't tell me what ancestor worship is. Okay, people also ask, what is the meaning of ancestor worship? The custom of venerating the deceased ancestors who are considered still a part of the family and whose spirits are believed to have the power to intervene in the affairs of the living. Okay, from that minimum research, I'm going to take that it's the belief that to still pay respects to, or to continue paying respects to your ancestors because they have the ability to influence what's going on in your life. I may be off somehow, some way, but let's continue.
I'm going to tell you something while I'm on this subject. Our primary identifying factor should not be our color, and it should not be our gender. It should not be our educational level. Okay. It should not be the amount of money that we have. It should not be an association that we're a part of. It should not be our fraternity. It should not be our neighborhood. It should not be our country club. Our primary identifying factor of our lives should be the fact that we are redeemed by the blood of the Lamb. And if that's not first, you got the wrong thing in first place.
This guy's a really mad Christian. Not mad
I
Christian,
am
but
not
big
black
Christian.
first. By the way,
Nothing wrong
Martin
with
Luther
that.
King dreamed of a day when a man would no longer be judged by the color of his skin, but by the content of his character. And now we want to be judged. We just want to judge things by the color of the skin. Do you understand every time you go along with something that's, as a black person, every time we go along with something that's black and whack, we're just doing
Black and whack.
what the oppressors of
say?
our ancestors, we're agreeing with the oppressors of our ancestors. The most important thing about us is the color of our skin. And it's not. I personally like being a brother. You know what I'm saying? I like my brother swag. You know what I'm saying? I like it.
Brother swag.
But guess what? If I was white, I would enjoy that just as much. Because watch this. I am made exactly the way God desired me to be, and I'm not in competition with anybody. So I can celebrate you, and it don't take anything from me, and I can celebrate me, and it don't take anything from you. And if you think me celebrating me takes something from you, I'm not the one with the problem. And if I think that you celebrating you is taking something from me, I'm the one with the problem.
Okay.
James, the brother of the Lord, he wrote a book in the New Testament called James.
Is he a preacher?
Yaakov, which is Jacob, but King James, and they changed it to James, and it's not James, it's Yaakov. But anyway, James, the brother of Jesus, here's what he said. He didn't say James, the brother of the Lord. He didn't say James, the senior pastor at the church of Jerusalem. He didn't say Reverend James, the senior pastor of the church of Jerusalem. Here's what he said. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ. That was his primary identifying factor. And if it's good enough for the half-brother of the Lord, who's a senior pastor at the church of Jerusalem, it's good enough for me for it to be my primary.
Okay, Lowkey feels like he's getting off topic right here and going on to a I don't want to say a rant, but he's preaching now. So Lowkey seems like he's getting off topic. But let's hang in there.
Identifying factor. We have been
because I want to learn about this property programming.
Do you realize that Hollywood started waging war on business in the 1970s?
Okay.
We didn't even see it. By the time the average American
now he's on
turns
track
18 years of age, they've seen 10,000 people murdered on television and movies
Damn.
by business people and entrepreneurs.
Damn.
They've seen more people murdered on television by entrepreneurs and business people than more than even career criminals. No wonder people don't want to go into business. All they want to do is save the planet. They've been programmed. But let me say this. You weren't born with any ideas. All of the beliefs you have, you got them from somewhere. So you might want to check the source before you start running 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction and end up off a cliff somewhere. So here's what we got to do. We got to understand that the results that my life is producing those results automatically. And so if I want to produce some different results, I have to reprogram my automatic mind. I have to be intentional.
Subconscious.
And I have to be aware. I have to be aware of the fact, like, where is this coming from? I know from Genesis chapter 1, there are 4 levels of value. The lowest level is implementation. You use your muscles. I'm not going to do it that way. Use your muscles over time. That's the resource you use to make money. This is why you're broke. What do I mean by that? Wealth is a spiritual result. Wealth is a spiritual result. Wealth is spiritual. It is not physical in its nature. It is spiritual in its nature.
Vibrational.
It's spiritual in its nature because money that you have can be in more than one place at a time. Only spiritual things can be in more than one place at a time. The thing that gives money its value, there's nothing backing the money. There's nothing backing this money I have in my pocket. The thing that makes it valuable is the message that it carries. A $100 bill is more valuable than a penny, even though the material the penny's made out of is worth more than the material the $100 bill is made out of. So if money were material, a penny would be worth more than a $100 bill. But a $100 bill is worth 10,000 times more. Why? Because on a penny it says 1 cent, which means 1% of $1. On a $100 bill it says $100, which means 100 times $1. So the message that it carries is the thing that makes it valuable. But watch this. The other reason it's valuable is because we believe it's valuable. So the 2 things that make money valuable are the message that it carries and the faith that it creates.
Right.
Language is spiritual and faith is spiritual. Wealth is a spiritual outcome. But muscles are a physical resource. Time is a limited resource. We're multiplying a physical resource times a limited resource, and we're attempting to produce an unlimited spiritual result. No wonder you're broke. Second level, unification. Multiplying a physical resource. Time is a limited resource. We're multiplying a physical resource times a limited resource, and we're attempting to produce an unlimited spiritual result. No wonder you're broke.
Okay, so he's saying, like to reiterate, he's saying money is a spiritual aspect. or a resource. But we're trying to get a spiritual resource by using a physical resource, which is the muscle, and the limited resource, which is time. But so I'm guessing he's going to go into saying that we need to use a spiritual resource to get a spiritual resource, which will be money. Okay.
Second level, unification. Unification, second level of value. On that level, we use our management skills to make money. We're not broke. You might make anywhere from $40,000 to $250,000 a year. But if a company's paying you $250,000 a year, here's what they want you to know. They want you to know they own you. They don't care nothing about your child's recital, your grandfather on his deathbed, nothing, right?
He almost said baby mama, I think. Or
Above
baby.
that dotted line is where wealth begins to create it. This is communication. This is the second highest level of value. The highest level of value is imagination. Most, like here, your income on the communication level is going to be somewhere between $100K a year if you sell cars, and it might be $100 million a year if you're an A-list actor or an A-list singer, or maybe you write songs, or maybe you write movies.
So I'm guessing imagination is at the top of the list, because it's like if you can imagine it and you can imagine yourself, imagine a way to get it, then the rest will follow suit. Like if you can form it in your imagination, you can find a way to perform a function in order to get the result from your the result that you were imagining. Function follows form. Form follows. Anyway,
$100 million a year. These are communication, imagination. These are the people who come up with the best idea. Well, the resource you use here is your mouth. You got to have a mouth. You got to learn how to use it. Pretty much everybody here qualifies for the first part. Now you got to start working on the second part. And then your mind, the resource you use up here, or for imagination, are your mind and your money to make money. When you do that, this will take your life to a whole nother level. But you've been programmed to stay down here, or to work real hard to get a degree so you can move up here, and this you don't even value. Do you realize, and I'm going to end with this, in business school, they don't even teach you how to sell. You go to school for 6 or 8 years to learn how to be a lawyer. They teach you how to practice all this law. They don't teach you how to get any clients to practice law for.
What?
You go to school for 8 to 20 years to learn how to be a doctor, and they teach you how to work on the human body. They don't teach you how to get any human bodies to work on. We've been programmed to be broke, and poverty programming is costing you a fortune. That's why I always say, if you're broke, if you make less than $50,000 a month, you can't afford to be watching television. You need to be using that time to read some books to learn a new skill.
Fair enough.
But don't you want to see them? I don't want to see them. I want to be them. I want somebody watching me live my life on TV.
Damn.
So that's how people are programmed to be broke for the rest of their life. Don't let the cultural hypnotic societal mechanism program you to be broke, because your family deserves better than that. God bless you. Like, subscribe, share, all the rest of that YouTube-y stuff that y'all do.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. So, imagination. If you can imagine it, if you can see it in your imagination, you can communicate. Then you have to work on communicating to others to get it to come into existence, which will make profit. But he's saying most of us are stuck on implication and university. The implication is muscle and time. So a lot of that is like physical labor, you know? And the university, I forgot what this was, the MNS. But mind or something? I don't know. But it is important. I think, implication is important, because we use implication to build cities and to build countries and to build resources and stuff like that. However, the only way we know what to build is because someone else uses either someone else or we use imagination the imagination and the mind, and then they use the communication to tell the others who have gone to uni and know how to build, who have gone to uni and know how to put blueprints together. who tell the other people how to implement it, how to build it, and these guys follow the implication people follow the instructions of the uni people, who have been and those instructions have been communicated to by the communicators who originally got it from, and who got it from the people who imagined it, who came up with it. So if you can work from the top of the ladder, of the staircase, whatever, and you have at least a little bit of communication, you know what I'm saying? If you can work from the top, you can trickle it down to the bottom and get things done. And these people up here at the top get paid more than these people here at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Because without the people at the top, the people at the bottom here wouldn't know what to imagine, communicate, and they wouldn't know what to imagine in order to communicate, in order to create blueprints, in order to build. You feel me? Huh. I think I got it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, I guess, more people should start focusing on building imagination and communication, so that they can trickle everything down to the bottom to the people who implicate it, and try making money. Huh. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And what are you good at? Where will you rate yourself on this? What are you good at doing right now? That way you know where you need to work, what you need to work on. Or at least if you're down here, you should probably work on something up here, right? Or building these skills up here. Anyway, that was this video. This was pretty interesting. I'm saying I'm learning a few things. I'm getting it. I'm saying I'm understanding. So as always, like I said before, link to the video will be the link to the channel. Link to the video and the link to the channel will both be in the description below. So be sure to check them out. And then you know what it is after that. In case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace and much love to you.